What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? Buddies here. Welcome back to another live reaction here on the channel. And today we're going to take a look at Uruguay almost getting their ticket now to the round of 16. I think they actually did. I think they actually did already. 6 points for Russia and 6 points for Uruguay. Fuck this. Yeah, I always forget to turn down the preview volume. But okay. So I gotta say, this match was very interesting by one aspect, and was that Saudi Arabia actually played much better than I think most of us would have anticipated. I think that in every single play, Saudi Arabia actually controlled the ball a little bit more than Uruguay, and in the very first half it was kind of even though they only made one mistake at the end, and it basically gave Uruguay the win, in which the goalkeeper Al-Owais, something like that was his name, number 22. He went out and he never really got the ball. He just went for it, but never waited for the ball, and he just passed through the defense, and then he fell into Luis Suarez. And although it may be unlucky, at the end of the day, Uruguay did what they had to do to win. Saudi Arabia did had enough chances, I think, to have perhaps got away with a draw. They played much better than what they did against Russia, and I think that most of us would have been surprised because what they have achieved this one. Even though they lost, they played a very decent match and respectable performance. That's the most important thing basically here in this match. I also want to talk about Uruguay, because Uruguay in the very first half, they never really control the ball. It's something I think that El Maestro Tavares needs to try and adjust, because for instance in the match against Egypt, they didn't have the ball, so they need more people that are going to work hard. They're going to go to defend, and therefore they played El Cebolla Rodriguez, number 7, and they played on Sanchez with number 22, if I'm not wrong. In this game, they played those two same players, and they didn't work. For instance, in Egypt, they started off with Najin Hernandez, and they started off with somebody else. Nandes and... my God, what's the other Uruguay? And De Arrascaeta. They started off with those two. In this game, they started off with Rodriguez and Sanchez. But it was just really weird, because in the last game, Sanchez and Rodriguez were the two players that needed to play in that match against Egypt. But now Najin Hernandez and Arrascaeta were the players that need to play in the Saudi Arabia match. I think that that part of the midfield is something Uruguay needs to sort out, because I think with those players inside the squad from an earlier start, Uruguay may have just gotten a bigger lead in the long run. So I think that's the main part where they need to adjust. They need to find which players are right for that kind of play and that kind of game. If they play against a team like Spain, certainly you're going to try and have more players who have a cutting defensive edge, players who are going to work harder and try to get the ball back, to win it back. So Rodriguez and Sanchez, that's a perfect suit for you. For instance, against Russia, I think those two should start. But if you play against a team such as, I don't know, a team such as Iran, you're going to need people that control the ball like Nandes, and people that control the ball like De Arrascaeta. So in that sense, I think that he needs to figure that out, because the midfield is the main problem now for Uruguay, because they got an amazing back line, they got an amazing front too. But the midfield, those two players, the left and the right players, los dos volantes de los costados, is the main part they need to fix. If they fix that, I think there can be real candidates, because in every single other position, they're really good, they're really settled. But those two players are the ones they need to fix. Moreover, I gotta mention that Cavani and Suarez look like a real threat in this match. Against Egypt, they also did, but in this one, they look a little bit more clear. This is obviously coming into the second match of the World Cup, and they're going to be always a little bit more prepared for those kind of situations. It's nice that Suarez scored the goal, because Suarez is a player who needs to score, and then he'll just continue scoring. We never saw really much chances for Suarez after that first goal, but I think that if we see against a team like Russia, who are going to defend a little bit more open, who are also going to try and get the win, because they're going to have the possibility of coming out first in the group for a very big surprise, since they have scored 8 goals in 2 matches due to the 5-0 win over Saudi Arabia and the 3-1 win over Egypt. They're certainly going to have a big goal difference, so they can take advantage of that. I think they're going to try and get the draw or even get the win against Uruguay. And in that sense, I think that we're going to see Suarez perhaps score a little more goals, Cavani as well, and overall a better, more a better Uruguay. I think against the small teams is where Uruguay really gets hurt, but against the bigger teams, they are really good. They're like this Atletico Madrid side that they know how to play against the bigger teams, but you can see, for instance, Atletico Madrid losing against Levante or drawing against Girona. That's the main thing. That's the main kind of play, because against teams where they don't like the ball as much as Uruguay, that's where they get hurt, and that's where they lose a lot of possession and lose a lot of chances for this game. Moving on, I wanted to talk something more. Let me just check my notes here. Uruguay versus Saudi Arabia. Let me check if I have it here, because I was actually very surprised with one of the decisions Tavares had to do in one of the cases. Let me just find it really quick. I don't know. I must have forgot. Oh my god, where is this? Yeah, I have absolutely no idea where I left it. But okay, it doesn't matter. Let me just think something else that we can analyze. The game, the goals. Well, moving on into now, we're going to have 6 points for Uruguay and 6 points for Russia. I think the next match is going to be really crucial. And if we take into consideration the other two teams that they may face, Spain and Portugal, it's really not much that they can do to see if they finish first or second, because they're not going to be linked to the other match, because obviously Portugal and Spain, those two matches happen afterwards. So in that situation, I think that the best possible scenario is certainly to go and try to get first. Let me just check Group B so I can give you a better understanding of this, to see which team is more probable to finish up first. I think that Portugal is a team that can win 1-0, but Spain has a little more goal in them. So let me just check out the standings. So we have in Group A, we have Russia, Uruguay. Okay, that's fine. And in Group B, we got Portugal and Spain. I think Spain are going to beat Iran later today. And the goal difference for Spain right now is 0. Like 0 goals. If they get 2 goals again against Iran, I think they're going to be higher. I think that Spain is going to finish first. And I think Portugal are going to finish second. So there's a big possibility we're going to be able to see a game between Russia and Spain, and then Uruguay versus Portugal. And it's going to be very interesting to see, because Uruguay-Portugal, I don't really see a big candidate. I would say that Uruguay are the better team as a collective, but then you just have the X factor that is Cristiano Ronaldo, and that can really hurt you in the long run. Talking about Spain versus Russia, for instance, if that's going to happen, I think that Spain may certainly take the best of Russia. Although Russia has something about them in this game. They have something about them where they're really clinical, and they're actually playing really good. They just have like this extra confidence of playing in Russia and being in their home and seeing that all the people were hating on them, and now they're actually playing really good football. They're not winning by mistake. You understand? They're winning because they're actually playing decent football. You got people like Disiuba, who is playing really good. You got Golovin, you got Cheryshev, you got Samedov. I still cannot get that play out of my head. He did an amazing play yesterday against Egypt, and it was really surprising. So I think that we could see a Russia-Spain match and also an Uruguay-Portugal. I'm certainly going to do a little bit of our predictions afterwards. All the group stages matches are finished, but in the meantime, I want to keep it cool. I want to keep it cool and relaxed. So the next match coming up in this series of reviews or reactions is going to be about the next match is Spain versus Iran. So that's the next match we're going to review. But now this Kurdi just said Saudi unlucky. Iran will win 2-1 against Spain, I think. Oh, really? To be more honest to you, I think Iran has a better chance of drawing and winning against Portugal rather than Spain. To be honest, to be completely honest with you. So even if I think Iran may lose this game against Spain, I think that in the long run, Iran can get a result against Portugal. And just imagine Spain getting 3 points, they're in 4 points, and then Iran is 3 and Portugal 4, and then Iran, they need to beat Portugal and Iran will be going through. That would be just insane. Imagine that. And what happens if Morocco beats Spain? Then Iran is still in the competition, in the shout, if they get a draw. So I think that it's going to be very interesting to see what's going on in this Group B, because certainly we have 3 candidates to go through. Iran is maybe kind of like an outsider shout, and one we don't necessarily think about very much, but in the long run, it can happen. We don't know. We need to see this match against Spain, which is very interesting. And I think I already got the lineups for this match. So I'm going to read it out to you if I actually had the chance. Let me just take a look at the matches here. We got Iran versus Spain. No, we don't have this. What? I just saw them on my phone. Let me check. Boom, 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 boom. Let me just check. So Spain are going to play De Gea, Ramos, Piqué, Carvajal, Jordi Alba, Iniesta, Sergio, Busquets, Silva, Isco, Lucas Vázquez, and Diego Costa. Oh, and I have him here for Iran once a while. Again, let me just check a minute. Someone is just sent me, you have no chance against France. And I'm like, haha, you clearly don't know about football. Okay. For Iran, they're going to play with Alireza Beiranvand, which was very surprising against Morocco. He was really one of the best players out there. Really, really good out there for Iran. I think he was kind of the man of the match against Morocco. We got Ramin Rezain, which is the right back. We got Majid Hosseini or something like that. Then we got Morteza Purlanganji. Then we got Ehan Haisafi. How is that Purlanganji is easy to pronounce for me, and how is that Hosseini is not? Like, what? Then we had Omid Ebrahimi. Then we had Mehdi Taremi. Then we had Said Esotolahi or Esotolai. I don't know. Vahid Amiri. Then Karim Ansari Fard or Ansari Fard. I don't know. And then Sadar Asmun. I'm actually going to do a draw here. I'm going to put in my predictor. I'm going to go with a draw. I think that Iran can get the draw against Spain. It's going to be very interesting to see, because then will be Spain with 4 points and Iran with 4 points. No, Spain with 1 point and Iran with 4 points. So who knows can happen in this. So who knows what will happen. It's going to be very interesting. I'm going to go with the draw between Iran and Spain. I think that can happen. I think really, really that can happen. Because Spain, they don't penetrate too deep, you know. Spain don't really cut yourself and don't try to... Spain are not good trying to break defensive units, and in that sense I think Iran has a chance really in that position. So now to finish it off, guys, please remember to drop us a like and leave us a subscribe. See you in also 3 hours time, and we're gonna take a look at Spain versus Iran. I'm going with the draw. Some of you are going with a 2-1 win against Spain, which is wow, but I don't know. See you in the next one. Take care.